right. Well, good morning or afternoon, depending upon where you are located. My name is Randy Gibson. I am one of our sales enablement trainers here for our Sunnova training team, and I want to thank you all for joining our call today while we talk about some of the new things that are happening on our design platform. So for today's training, we're going to really focus on our open solar demonstration. As you all may know, we are moving away from Aurora as our design platform within Catalyst, and are going to be moving into utilizing open solar for those designs. So today's training is going to be very specific to the things that you need to know that are related to the design section within Catalyst for open solar. So let's go ahead and just get started. Let's first just talk about what some of those changes are. Something that is not changing is the quoting platform itself. So you're still going to be logging into quoting.sunnova.com. You'll still log in exactly the same way you are now when you're getting to accessing your leads and or creating new designs within the platform. Now, some of the reasons why we're making the switch from Aurora over to Open Solar is this is going to allow us to bring the site modeling process internally. So currently within Aurora, if you are requesting help from in regards to your design, when you request a site model review, that actually has to send you outside of our portal directly over to Aurora, where they would make any edits to that design, and then they will import that design back into Catalyst. There's often some issues where that importing, there's some errors that may happen, or you're not getting the design that you might be looking for. So keeping our modeling in-house will help us resolve some of those issues. So now whenever you do need to request a site modeling review, whether it's to edit a tree, add an extra mounting plane, or anything else that you might be looking to do, that request is going to go directly to our internal design team. Well, they'll be able to go ahead and provide support quite a bit faster and provide you with more accurate designs to make sure that you're getting the design that you are looking for. The goal for this as well is for us to help us reduce the number of change orders, so you all are having faster and more accurate designs, helping your projects get from DocuSign to installation even faster. And then with Open Solar, we have a partner that is very flexible with us. So they have provided us quite a bit of support. Part of that support we'll talk about here in just a moment that you all will have access to as well to work directly with the Open Solar team as we continue to improve upon the design aspects of our portal. Now, for today's training, I'm really going to focus on the features for our standard capabilities, which is what the vast majority of those that are going to be viewing today's call will focus on. For the handful of folks within each organization that will have access to the advanced capabilities, some of the additional things that can be done as advanced users, or for those internally that have access to this, is those users will have the ability to add and remove panels. They'll be able to create new roof mounting planes. If you've located a home that is a brand new construction and there is no Google imagery, they can actually either upload blueprints and or simply design and create their own roof mounting planes in a 3D environment. So you have quite a few additional features as these advanced features. But again, for the vast majority of those that are on our call today, we're really going to be focusing on those standard capabilities, which should serve 90% of our audiences in the majority of scenarios. Now, some important key dates to note. All of you all should have access to Open Solar as of today. So Open Solar did launch on October 2nd. Now, between today and the end of the month, between now and October 30th, you all will have the option of utilizing either Open Solar or Aurora as your design platform operating in the background. So you still have access to create designs in Aurora. So if you're having any issues currently with creating your current design in Open Solar, feel free to utilize the Aurora designs until the 30th. But we do want to recommend that we're transitioning to Open Solar design platform sooner than later. And the reason why we're really going to suggest that is, one, so you're familiar with the platform. Two, we can get some feedback from you all. We'll talk about how you can provide us with that feedback so we can continue making improvements upon the portal. And three, as of November 30th, you will no longer, after November 30th, you will no longer have access to create Aurora designs. And then after November 18th, any projects that are in flux, if you need to go back and make any edits to that design after the 18th, you will have to create a new design in Open Solar in order to edit that design. So just kind of recap, after the 30th, individual users, you will not be able to create new designs with Aurora. And up until the 18th, you will not be able to go back and edit any previously created proposal after November 18th. Before we get into the demo, I also just want to make sure you all are aware of what additional support you all have available. So one, I'll leave this up for just a moment, but there on the left-hand side, you see that we have that QR code that will link you to our weekly office hours. This office hour is hosted through a conjunction of both the Open Solar team and our Sunnova team. So you have support on both sides of the business to help provide demos on the tool itself. And this is an opportunity where if you are experiencing any issues with your designs, you are looking to provide us some feedback, anything of that nature, that is a 1-hour call that we have every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. That's open for anyone within our network to join and provide us with some feedback. Or if you have specific design issues, that's a great opportunity for you to come and allow us to address those specific issues for you as well. On the right-hand side, you have our Sunnova Resource Hub. So again, hopefully you all are utilizing the Resource Hub. I know Freedom Forever has a robust directory for you all to use internally as well. But you also do have access to our Sunnova Resource Hub, which will give you some of the most up-to-date resources that our team has available to all of our dealers when in regards to our design platform as well as our products. All right, now before we move into that demo, I just want to point out this is the Resource Hub. Now, under the Resource Hub, when you all log in, I would recommend that you go ahead and click the Training tab here at the top. If you scroll on down on this Training tab, there's a couple of different ways you can navigate this. One, you have the little, the blue or purple bar here across the top. That will allow you to navigate between the different departments and or courses that are available to you. Down here towards the bottom, we've just also made these individual tiles. So depending upon however you want to navigate the site. If you click right in here to Sunnova Catalyst Training, so I'll just click the Learn More. You'll have access to a couple of additional videos. We haven't added the Open Solar videos in here yet, but that is coming very soon. But you will have access to our Getting Started with Open Solar guide. So if you're also more of a step-by-step learner and you want a step-by-step job aid on how to access and or create designs within Open Solar, we have that guide there for you as well. If I just go back to our training tab here, you also have our sales training workflow. So if you click into that sales training workflow, you'll have a variety of additional resources here, including the clean deal submission checklist that references properties like, if it's in a trust or credit requirements, anything like that. But speaking specifically to Open Solar, if I click on this, step 4, creating the initial design, you'll notice right down here, we also, again, have added that Open Solar guide in 2 different locations. Now, as I mentioned earlier, today's training is really going to be focused on Open Solar. But if anyone in the network is looking to get additional training, whether that's throughout the entire steps within the Catalyst Design platform or on any of our products, services, or market specifics, you can join any one of our webinars. Right now, we are running them monthly. If there is a need to increase those, we're open to that feedback, and we can provide more as needed. But if you click into that reoccurring webinar series, you have the ability to join our onboarding webinar, where we'll talk about what resources are available, clean deal submission. We'll do a demo on the tools. We'll talk about our products as well. So just want to give you a full scope of what's available for you all after today's training, whether that be through the office hours or through the the onboarding sessions that's provided directly from Sunnova. All right, with that, let's jump back into our specifics on Open Solar. So when you all log into Catalyst, everything else is going to essentially look the same. So we're going to follow the same steps. We're going to go ahead and click Create New Lead. You'll go ahead and input your customer's address here. Again, pro tip, you always want to go ahead and select the address that populates in the address bar. We'll give that a moment as it is doing an internal title check in the background. All right, we're going to go ahead and create a solar lead. Now, I will note I am working in our staging environment. So this is essentially the Sunnova sandbox. So my environment may move just a bit slower than your environment because you all are in a live production environment. So I'm just utilizing this for testing. So as this is a test, I'm just going to continue without title. Typically, you would want to continue with title or would pull in your homeowner's information or whoever is on title there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put save and continue. And then we will move on to our energy usage page. Here, just again, pro tip, just if you are in one of those markets where you have multiple utilities, you're on the border, just make sure you do have the correct utility provider selected there. We're going to select the current rate plan for whatever that homeowner is utilizing in that market. The estimated annual utility increase. Again, I'm in a test environment, so I'm sure your utility rate increases will have higher options than what mine is displaying. And then you'll have your post rate install, whatever that correct rate plan is for that homeowner. And then down here, we're going to have our a total electric usage. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 17,500 for this particular customer. And then we'll go ahead and hit save and continue. Now, this is where things get a little bit different from the steps that you all are currently used to. Here is where you'll currently, again, until the 30th of the month, you'll have the ability to either generate a design with Open Solar or design with Aurora, which is how you have been currently creating your designs. So you also have the option of a manual equipment design. So I don't want to forget that as well. If we want to go back and towards the end, I'll also show you how you can utilize the manual equipment design. But for now, we're going to go ahead and generate a design with Open Solar. Jake, director. All right, so it looks like our design is loading for us. Again, nothing has changed here. Our designs are still loading with a max offset. So we'll talk about the ways you can edit the design, some of the other features that will be available in here for you all. All right, so it looks like my system is just running a bit slower than normal. There we go. All right. So again, I am in a sandbox environment. So your experience should be a little bit faster than what I'm working with in our sandbox. All right. So let's point out a couple of the features that we want to be aware of here. So one, as I kind of scroll in and scroll out, you'll see this little white dotted line or dotted box kind of populated around the house. That is going to be the section that is going to appear on the customer's proposal. So before we move on and we've edited our design, before we go to save and continue, we want to make sure whatever image is populated here, whatever direction we're looking at that roof, anything within that dotted box is what's going to populate on the proposal for your homeowner. Down here again, we can go ahead and switch to a target offset, but it looks like we got an offset right at 99%. So I don't need to mess with that. But again, if you wanted to switch to a target offset and put in 130% or 90% or whatever it is that you're looking for, you can go ahead and do so, and that will update your customer system design. Down here, we're going to have access to our shading tool. So if we click that view shade button, this will just show you the hotspots on that customer's roof. So that way we can have any conversation that we need to with that homeowner about why we may be locating panels on certain areas of the home or so on and so forth that might be relevant for that customer. Let's go ahead and turn that off. You're also going to have your directional pad here in the bottom right-hand corner. So if you wanted to scroll around that customer's home and take a look at different angles for the customer's property, you can certainly do that. Again, you can utilize the zoom in or zoom out, or just scroll in and scroll out, whatever your preference is. If you've started to kind of manipulate the different angles of the customer's home and you wanted to go back to that top down view, just go ahead and click the center of the little compass, and that will recenter you right above the customer's home. Now let's look at the individual mounting planes and how you can manipulate those designs there. So one, we've already talked about how to switch to target offset. But if you wanted to just go ahead and manually design this system a little bit differently, you certainly can do so. One, you can just go ahead and click on these individual panel groups. You'll notice as I clicked on these groups, you have the little window pane pop up here in the left-hand corner that will show you how many modules are in each group. And you can either if you just wanted to click on individual modules, you can just go ahead and turn those modules on and off that way. If you just want to so there we go, just click the first one and just kind of drag across. You can just quickly, delete entire mounting planes if you chose to do that. All right. So again, you kind of click around, it'll show you each individual panel group. Now within each one of these panel groups, you're also going to have access to a shade report. So if we click the drop down button for this 4-panel group here, it will give you access to seeing how this particular system is going to perform throughout various times of the year. So if we were to go down here, let's just take a look at April. Look like in the evening of April, this is going to show you what that customer's access to sunlight would look like. So if homeowners are, have trees that are in their way or something of that nature, this can help aid you in the conversation for the homeowner to understand how it might impact them if they were to remove a tree or do something of that nature, or just simply where their access to sunlight is coming from based upon different times of the year. All right. Down here, you're still going to have the configure system button. Nothing is changing there. Again, I'm in a sandbox environment, so I know you all will have different variations of equipment configurations. So this is where you'll go ahead and select those configurations. But again, nothing there in particular to Open Solar has changed. As we mentioned earlier, you're going to have the access for our internal site model review as well. So if there were a tree located in here, again, as our standard users don't have the ability to create new mounting planes or to remove or edit tree heights. If there's those within the organization that do have advanced capabilities, you do have the ability to go ahead and do that and manipulate that yourself. However, we are, we talk and speak internally for those that are going to have access to those additional capabilities. But if you do need to get additional help, whether that is, creating another mounting plane, maybe there's a detached unit here in the backyard that we're looking to add, maybe there's a tree that we need to remove, or we're looking for a ground mount or anything else along those lines that the auto design is not catching for you, you can go ahead and request a site model review by clicking the little question mark here at the top. You'll click request site model review. And then down here, you'll have the reasons why you're requesting it. And then I will encourage you all, put as detailed instructions as you can to what you're looking for, and then go ahead and request that site model review. Hours for your convenience are listed right down in here. So 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, we are available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The estimated SLA is 30 minutes for us to be able to make those edits and get those designs back to you. I will say that since this is an internal team, that is our standard SLA, but it's been probably closer to about 18 minutes or so before those designs get back. Don't quote me on that. The SLA that we're advised is 30 minutes, but I would hope that you all experience a bit faster responses when you need to do that. All right, so that is everything we need to know about the basic steps for creating designs there in Open Solar. From here, you would just go ahead and click Save and Continue and move through the process exactly as you would prior to this. Now, the other feature that I mentioned earlier is that manual design. Back on that energy usage page where we have the ability to either select Open Solar, edit in Aurora, or manual design. You could have selected manual design there. But if you find yourself in this scenario where you need to create a manual design, you can also access manual design from this Request Site Model Review button. And if you click that manual equipment design, this is going to delete anything I've currently created and allow me to go ahead and create a manual design for this home as well. Just note, whenever you're creating a manual design, it will not populate the actual customer's image on the proposal. It will give you a generic image of a customer's home if you're utilizing the manual design option. So we'll go ahead and just click confirm. And then we'll move into the manual section. Now, if you've used manual design before, nothing again has changed in here. I just want you all to know that it does exist. So if you're adding an array or multiple arrays for this particular customer, you can go ahead and add those arrays, add whatever number of panels you're looking for, whatever the tilt is, whatever the azimuth is, and then solar availability. This would be assuming that you've designed in a third-party system outside of our design platform, and you're looking to recreate that design within this portal. You'll have the ability to do that. If you need to add an additional array, you have the ability to just go and click Add Array, and then again repeat those steps for that additional array for your homeowner. It does have the equipment selection here at the top. So if you do need to change that equipment selection, again, just click Change Equipment and select whatever the appropriate equipment is that you're utilizing for this particular customer. All right. Now, the one thing to note is if you are utilizing the manual system design, you will need to pay a bit more attention to make sure you are selecting the right equipment that is approved by Freedom. And that is, if we're talking domestic content, that is relevant to domestic content. You may have some additional options in here if you're choosing manual equipment design. So please make sure you are double checking and selecting the correct equipment configurations. If you're utilizing our auto design, those equipment package configurations should already be added to that design section for you. All right, so with that is everything that you all should need to know. For now, as far as Open Solar goes, just as a reminder, again, you do have our weekly office hours. Those office hours are available every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So again, if you need additional support, please join those weekly office hours. If you're looking to have a market-specific training for your individual team, whether you are in California or Florida or any other market in between, please feel free to reach out to your dealer sales manager within Sunnova or your internal training team. And if we need to coordinate some additional trainings, we're happy to do so for any individual group. With that, I appreciate you all for joining. Thank you for your time and have a great day.